What is going on, everybody? It is your boy, back at it with yet another review. And today we are continuing our Jurassic Park / World review series. I'm just going to call it the Jurassic review series. And today we will be reviewing the second entry in that franchise, that of course being Jurassic Park: The Lost World. But before we get into actual beginning of the review, what's up, guys? Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, because number one, it's absolutely free. Number two, also maybe I'll be YouTube algorithm, and I recommend the video to more people, and maybe they could join. And do feel free to comment your thoughts on Jurassic Park 2: The Lost World down below. But with that being said, guys, let's give a quick plot synopsis of the film, shall we? So transition and choose them, yeah.
The entrepreneur who genetically engineered the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park transpires to have cloned more of the prehistoric monsters on another island location. Researchers arrive to observe the creatures in their natural habitat, but hot on their heels is a band of mercenaries intent on capturing the dinosaurs and transporting them back to San Diego Zoo.
Alright, so for those who missed my first review of the first Jurassic Park, that is my favorite movie of all time. And in that video, I said, I love that film, but this does not have... The Jurassic franchise as a whole is not my favorite movie franchise. So, Jurassic Park: The Lost World, so like the original trilogy, so that of course being Jurassic Park, Jurassic The Lost World, and Jurassic Park 3, I grew up with all three of those movies. And usually, 2 was the one I looked forward to rewatching the least. I much rather preferred to rewatch the first film and the third film over this one. So, with that being said, let's see what my teenage years and almost adult years, because I'm going to turn into adult in like a month, and see what I think of this movie now. Alright, so starting off with the good here, we always start off with the good for our movie reviews. And number one, I have the RV sequence in here. The RV sequence, I think, is definitely the best sequence of this whole entire movie. That definitely does make some part of it
Rewatchable and enjoyable for me. I'm a sucker for movies like that are like survival thrillers, so it has that little moment in here that I do enjoy.
There's as well this little dinosaur sequence that I thought was pretty, It was pretty good as well. I'm talking about the scene with the little dinosaurs eating that one guy behind the log in the, like, little tiny river. Not river. Like, little... my brain isn't working today. I'm sorry. But when the guy dies by all the tiny little dinosaurs eating them together, I think that's a pretty good sequence as well. As well, this, I just keep on saying as well, my apologies. But also in here, you have some cameos from some of the people that popped up in the first film, like some minor roles in.
So it was kind of cool to see some of those characters again, like John Hammond you have in here, and then you also have the 2 kids from the first film.
And I do think that the cast is quite good in here. They all act really well, and it has a very interesting cast. So it has Jeff Goldblum coming back as Ian Malcolm as the lead role, which we'll get to in a little bit. Then you also have Vince Vaughn in here in one of his earlier roles. I believe this is actually... I know for a fact that this is after Rudy. I don't know if it's before Psycho or after Psycho. I'm talking about the Psycho remake, of course. So I don't know if it's after or before that. So it's definitely, I think, one of his first roles in here. And he has a fun character in here that I do like. And he's definitely one of the most entertaining characters for me in this movie. You also have Julianne Moore in here as well in role 2 that I think she does good in. Even though she kind of plays that stereotypical character, like that's basically fascinated with the dinosaurs and kind of rebellious or whatever. So, yeah, the cast in here is good. That is the good done, though. Now let's move on. We don't have any mixed aspects in here, but let's move on to the negatives. And number one, this hurts to say, but Ian Malcolm as a lead. Don't get me wrong, I love the character of Ian Malcolm.
And I do enjoy Jeff Goldblum in the role. However, as a side character, not as a main character. I don't think Ian Malcolm, even though I love this character, again, I don't think he has the same appeal as Alan Grant or Owen Grady from the later films in this franchise.
There's a reason that as well that I looked forward to rewatching this movie the least out of the original trilogy, and that's because this movie is a slog to get through. It feels very, very slow with the pacing, and it bores me most of the time. Unlike the first movie and the third movie, those actually entertain me throughout most of the time I'm watching the movie. But in the case of this movie, not so much. It bores me, and like, you do get occasional action sequences here and there, but you really don't get a whole lot of dinosaur chasing action sequences in here, which is sad to say because the first one had some really great ones out there. The villain in here I also found to be incredibly forgettable, might as well
be tied with the villain from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom for the weakest human villain of this franchise.
This film, too, decided to go for the more CGI route instead of the more practical effects route with the dinosaurs, so unlike the first film. Don't get me wrong, you do still have some practical effects with the dinosaurs in here, but for the most part, it's CGI, and CGI is quite noticeable in here, and it does not look that good. Jurassic Park 1 had some CGI, and it is, like, dated for today's standards, but at the time, it looks great. That's why it wasn't a knock on the movie or anything. I still gave it a positive thing because the CGI was amazing for that time. But for this time, the CGI actually looks worse because that's how much they use in this film. But, again, they do have some animatronics in here that do look good, so, yeah. But, other than that, I don't really have anything else to say about this film. Unfortunately, let's bring out the toxic meter. And I'm going to give this a toxic disappointment, a C-. There's been a reason why I always don't look forward to rewatching this film, and when I start rewatching through the Jurassic franchise again, it's just because it's slower and it's very underwhelming sequel compared to the first film, which is my favorite movie of all time, as I said many times in this review series already, so yeah. But, ladies and gentlemen, I know I'm the minority. Most people do like this film. I don't think it's bad. I just think it's definitely it's just very, very mediocre, unfortunately. But yes, that's just my thoughts on the film. Be sure to let me know your thoughts on this film down below. And with that being said, guys, let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. But I'll see y'all next one, everybody. Peace out.